Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PSGL, the PlayStation Tier Season 31 F3 Division, round number 4. I am your commentator, Iron, or as Jared Lee Fosby, joined in the booth by the OAP himself, Mr. Sondra Sohaug. Well, Sondra, how you doing?
Doing good as always.
It's great. So yeah, as quali, looks clear skies. There's no rain as of yet, as the Mercedes already leaving the pits. Same with the Haas of Edward, or Lickle Block, so he would be the first one out on track. But I'm very excited for today. I think we could have a interesting race, maybe another instant into turn 1 possibly. But what do you think this race is going to hold up today, Sondra?
Well, it is Mexico, so I'm expecting some overtakes today. We have this long straight into turn 1, and even if he don't manage to get it done there, you have the straight right after turn 3 as well. I'm expecting lots of penalties, at least some. I mean, this is Mexico. This is the place where you get disqualified if you're in danger of that, like me.
Yep.
And I'm expecting a Norwegian podium.
Oh, I've got to agree with the Norwegian podium. Definitely Blocken in second in the championship right now as a reserve as well. So he's done a cracking job at the start of the season. Lickle's about to start his lap, but before we go on board with his lap then, top 4 quali or top 3 quali prediction from you, Sondra. Who do you think's going to be top 3?
I am gonna say Shane back on top. Then Lewis Curtis in second, and I'm gonna say Marlon.
Marlon, yeah.
Yeah, the Merc in third. He looked solid last week, so.
That's fair enough. I'll tell you, he's not looking solid right now, is Edward. Already invalidates his time. But yeah, I think that's a solid top 3 to go with. But right now, though, I'm going to go on board with for Locken right now. But as we're going on board with his lap, my top 3 then as well would be Lewis for first. I'm going to go with Locken second. And third, I'm going to go with Nick, because Nick's a couple of times had a good qualifying position. I think he can make it in the top 3 at least. But Locken then, in the S section right now in the Mercedes, as we said, Lickle was down his lap. I believe Marlon behind him, Sondre, is on a timed lap as well. So both mercs.
That might be. I'm currently following Lewis.
Lewis then, so Lewis is just in the S section, I'm guessing. But Vlocken, purple in sector 2, obviously, since he's the first one to set quickest sector 2 at the moment. As the Haas of Lickle moves out of the way for drivers, but here comes Vlocken then. Around the final corner, takes it a bit slow. Up to the line, and it's 15.8, so he could be happy with that. I don't know if it's a very good lap, as Marlon instantly beats it with a 15.5. As you all said,
is now 59.
It's not like him. We have an Alpine, I believe, that's Shane coming up finishing the lap. He's currently the championship points leader. DNF last week in turn 1, and takes pole already, 15.4, 5.6. So not a bad time at the moment for him as Zane moves to 7th, as we have a throw out of Jabrak, who's next. And goes second quickest with a 1:15.460, 4,000.
Feren's coming towards the line now with a 15.6 to take 4th.
Bad lap is Hershey. Is going into the pits. What about Burrell?
Ooh.
Did Hershey spin it or did he hit the wall?
Oh, that was Toxic Tomato hitting the wall a little. Doesn't actually look like he has wing damage, but his lap should be over at least.
Yeah, he isn't keen at this track. But right now, the one board of his teammate, Lickle, currently in the second sector. I'm guessing he's going to pit because his fuel warning light's on. No, he isn't. He's actually going to finish the lap, so he must have enough fuel to get around again. And only goes 11th quickest with a 16.5.
That's QRT bends around in the S section. Just lost traction in that second right-hander there.
Yeah, it's quite easy to do that, especially with the setup. Depends how you've got the setup and everything, as he's actually liking it a little bit as well. But hopefully he can get the car back into the pits and get a fresh set of tyres on. But nobody else is on flyers right now.
No.
But there is a McLaren leaving the pit lane, so it looks like Hershey will be the next person to settle up soon. McLarens this season have been good in qualifying, but they haven't been able to keep it in the race. Australia, they had, I think, second and third, or third and fourth in quali, and then the race, it just didn't go to plan. And I believe same with Belgium, they had a good quali, and then one of them got actually DSQ'd at the end of quali, and Noah just got in an altercation, one of the drivers. Shame that he can't make it today. Hopefully Hershey can score some decent points for McLaren, as he will be the first one on the lap. And Sandra, I'll let you go over Hershey's lap this time, as it will be his first.
Well, he's still only halfway through his outlap, Jared, but
I'll get you prepared, you know. As David's retired. Why is he retired?
But yeah, Hershey, as you said, he's been part of a strong qualifying team, to say the least. Him and Noah both been looking like one of the strongest drivers on the grid in quali, but then it's just been a bit of a shambles in the races for them so far. So obviously no Noah here today, but we'll see then if Hershey can turn this around, as we can see that he's about to start his lap. Going very slowly, then trying to get as much traction down as early as possible out of that final corner before he crosses the line to then start his lap. Activates DRS, already in 8th gear. Let's see what he's gonna reach down here then. 205 at least, 206, 207 before he jumps on the brake before turn 1, then straight into turn 2 and turn 3. Not a lot of curbs there, but seems to get a good exit at least before now applying more DRS and into this turn 4, and this kind of a hairpin, I would say, and then into another double right-hander before he'll head into probably the most difficult section of this track, the S section, taking a lot of inside curb in the second corner there before hesitating a little, not really hitting his line through. But then let's see then into the third sector, the slow part of the track, as we can see him going into this corner, not properly hitting the apex. Now into the final corner, and let's see what will his time be. Taking a tight line, and it's a 15.8 to go 7th.
Yeah, not a bad lap from the McLaren, a 15.8. You can't be too disappointed with that, especially being 7th. There's still a couple of people to finish their laps. But it was nice and tidy, especially I was on board with it, and didn't really make any mistakes from what we saw as Marlins invalidated, which isn't the way to go. Anyone actually finishing a lap? That was, yes, Alex Morad, as he's changed his pace on him. He's moved to 4th in the Williams. Not a bad lap for him. There is an AlphaTauri going next. I'm guessing that's Zane. He's apparently almost 6/10 up in his time.
And that is MedTC out of quali in the S section.
Zane moves to 10th with 16 flat. So one AlphaTauri improves the time, one AlphaTauri goes into the wall, as the Williams of Jax moves to 12th. So we're going to go on board with Benza. He's invalidated again. Shane improves 15.446 now. Improves a little bit more on his time. We'll go on board with Cameron then. He's also invalidated. Does anybody on an actual timed lap? Is Vlocken? No, Vlocken isn't. Vlocken backed off.
Little Blocks is currently on a lap, heading into the third sector, almost 3/10 up on his lap right now. He's gonna have to find a little more time than that though, but let's see, out of the final corner, Little Blocks will get the run down to the line to do a 1:15.8 and up into 10th.
Yeah, it's knocked Zane back down to 11th, as might be a little bit disappointed with that, as Cameron gone on another lap. Let's go on board him. Oh, he has a bad exit out of 3. Let's see what he can do then. Let's see if he can get a time on the board, as he's been struggling couple of races and a couple of sessions in quali where he hasn't been able to get the time. Like in Australia, he got DSQ'd and then got a poor quali in Miami. And it just didn't go well for Belgium. He paused and the game unpaused for some reason. He crashed into the wall in one of the safety cars. There's already invalidates already in the second sector. He's really struggling in the S section. So we have 7 minutes 30 seconds. Still got plenty of time to get a lap on the table. But I don't think anybody else is on a lap. Do you see anybody on a lap right now, Sandra?
No, there shouldn't be anyone on a lap. We have a couple of drivers on out laps though. And is it Jabraka who's the first one? I believe it is. Unless he's got this next, but he does not. So Jabraka then heading down the long main straight, hitting 206, 7, 208 before stamping on the brakes there. So a little less downforce for this guy before he's jumping that second curb. Now out of turn 3 and onto a new DRS straight before going into turn 4. Heavy braking down into 4th gear, then into turn 5. Looking nice and tidy, then into turn 6 and 7, I guess. It's a double right-hander, so before heading into this S section where we've seen a couple of drivers lose it already today. So one of them went out as well. Jabraka looking very nice through that section as he invalidated.
Yeah, he did. He did look nice and tidy in the S section there, but then just, I think, a little mistake which invalidated it has cost him. But I believe Lewis's teammate, or Nick, as he's called, was also actually invalidated, so he isn't on a time lap after all.
Marlon is though, and he is
Purple.
2.5 tenths up going into the final sector. So this could be fighting for pole here if he gets this final sector right, and out of the final corner towards the line. It's a 1:15.1, Jared.
I was not expecting that time from Marlon, but yet again he surprised us like this in Belgium. I believe he took pole in, did give us a very surprising lap, and nobody could beat it in the end. So Marlon's showing his pace, and well, maybe Marlon could be one of these guys up for the championship this season. But a good time, 1:15.177. The time needs to be beaten. As we're on board with Vlokken then, your fellow Norwegian Sondre, currently in the second sector.
Yeah, he was half a tenth down on his lap in the first sector, so he's gonna have to find some time in this S section and the final sector if he wants to improve. But let's see then through the S section, taking that tight of a line.
He invalidated his run. What about Nick ahead of him? He's invalidated, so Lewis is the next driver up on time purple in the second sector. So is it going to be pole for Mr. Lewis Curtis? He's had chances before to take pole, but he's just missed out in Austria. Shane took it in the end. But will he take it from Mexico? And the answer is 15.4, goes second quickest. Only a couple of hundredths quicker than Shane this time round. I believe
Shane is out on track though, and apparently half a tenth up in the first sector, so he's not happy about losing that P2 at the moment. Now out of the S section we're gonna get timing as well, 200s up on his time. That would be enough to get that second place back, but let's see then in the final sector, out of the final corner, will he manage to find an okay? He aborts.
That's interesting. As well, while you're on board that lap, Jax moves to 8th, and Ferenc moves up into 2nd in the end. Then I think not Nick actually. I think Lewis. Is it Lewis or is it? No, it's actually the Haas who's on an actual lap. I thought it was Lewis, but he's invalidated again in the S section. Edward in 12 with 15.8 as what he set from earlier. I can't see anybody else at the moment on a time lap, but I think Snipes in the Alpine, I think both QRT drivers are quite close to each other. Snipes will be the first one to start this lap, and I think this will be his last qualifying attempt, as we have 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining of the session.
Oh, I think everybody only has one attempt left now. Possibly two if you invalidate halfway through the lap, if you're one of these guys already starting.
Yeah, well, Snipes then has begun his flying lap then down the long straight. We've seen some drivers go 208 miles an hour down the straight. Let's see what Snipes can do. 207, 208, so he's matching the speed. Nice and tidy through turn 1 and 2, rides the curbs, into 3. Decent exit, keeps it planted. DRS active then, as we see another possible overtaking opportunities as McLaren going slowly in sector 3 at the S section. As the Alpine is up on his time in the first sector. Snipes then approaching the tricky sector 2. Make one little error and your lap is over, and he has made an error. He's invalidated, and that is a shame for the Alpine. He's got another chance, still a minute and 50 seconds remaining, but has he got the fuel and the ERS to use. And so's Burrell, he's made a mistake as well.
Indeed. Nick just started his lap though, heading down the main straight in towards turn 1. He's gonna hit 208 as well, then onto the brakes through turn 1, then cutting turn 2, avoiding that curb quite a lot in turn 3. A bit of a tail loss there, but we move into turn 4 and into this slow section before the S section. Through turn 5, looks nice and tidy there. Then into this double left-hander, and this section where you really can gain or lose time. Let's see then, bit deep in the first corner there, but looking nice as he gets through without invalidating. He has to get a lap on the board as we see him into the third sector. Now, oh,
that's one way to end
that's him.
Quality run.
That's him done for today in quality.
That's it, definitely done. And Cameron wasn't a lap, but he invalidated behind, so he isn't going to continue it. Ferenc is on an out lap. There's an Alpine. Shane is on a lap right now. His teammate isn't. What about Zane? Zane is. So Zane and Shane, bit of a rhyming going on there, both on flying laps. So on board with Zane right now then. Currently in the final corner. Oh, and he invalidates, so that's his lap done. What about Shane? Is he going to take pole? His current fastest is a 15.4. Pole time is a 15.177. Is he going to take it? And the answer is no, he doesn't. A 15.359. Just improves under a tenth then. So he's not going to be too disappointed. And you usually don't want to qualify first at Roundabout Mexico. It's not the best place to qualify. As Burrell is actually messed up there in the final corner. Oh, and he almost spins back on track.
88 Lewis, 1.5 tenths up on his lap at the moment. Could be getting him up into that second place if he manages to nail this final sector over the line. It's going to be a 1:15.226.
Improvement, but right now Marlon is apparently a tenth and a bit up, Sondre. Are we going to get into the 14s? He's coming to the line, and the answer is no, just misses out at 15 flat. What about Ferenc? Is he on an actual flyer?
He's not going to be able to beat that. He's barely up on his time by a couple of thousandths, I believe. Let's see
15th.
then over the line, 1:15.1. Managed to find a little time, but Snipes.
Nah, he's invalidated. But Cameron, it did get a lap in then, moves 15th with 16.2. But what a lap from Marlon, not almost got in the 14s.
No, not far off at all.
Oh, indeed. Well then, we'll go through the qualifying orders. There's no formation lap for this weekend as well, due to the glitch. So Marlon does take pole then, just under a tenth by Ferenc. Lewis in third, Shane fourth, Jabraka in fifth, Murad sixth, Verloc in seventh, Jax in eighth, and Benza in ninth, Mentisi 10th, Hershey in 11th, Edward 12th, Zane in 13th, Snipes in 14th. Cameron does get a lap in the end in 15th, Burrell 16th with a 17.3. seconds slower than Cameron. Nick, Davey didn't set lap times in the end. Either they made mistakes on their runs or just crashed in the end. Well then, that's the qualifying order. Bolo, do you want to go over the sponsors for PSGL?
Indeed, I will. And as everybody should know by now, if they keep following PSGL, GT Omega is PSGL's title sponsor for season 31. Obviously, GT Omega being a leading manufacturer of gaming peripherals from chairs to racing cockpits. Good chances to improve anybody's setup there, including you, Mr. Forsberry. Now, if you want to have a look at your options, you find them on gtomega.co.uk, and at checkout use PSGL for a 5% discount. You done that yet, Jared?
No, I don't need it. I can actually drive the tracks. I've seen you at Jeddah. You spun out the safety car.
Oh.
Got beaten by Matt Romano in France. It is what it is. It's alright, bro. Don't worry.
Personally, Jared, I would have beaten you in France if it was dry.
Yeah, that's what they all say. But
in the wet, I was just drifting around. It was closer to drifting what I was doing than F1.
Does happen. As for some reason we're not going into the race session. Why is that? As Brad said, he's on a wheel, so cut me some slack, please. Don't worry, we will give you a lot of slack. You don't have to have very strong pace to score points. Keep out of danger in the one, and you'll be fine. Just take notes. Toxic hasn't finished the race yet. Actually, has he? Both 3 rounds he's DNF'd. I'm guessing. That's correct, isn't it, Sandra?
You might be right in saying that. I do believe you are right in saying that.
So don't worry, bro. You'll be fine. But I'd like to go into the race session if that is possible. I'll try and have a look at Discord.
I don't know. I mean, looking at the qualifying results, it's very interesting, but it's not going to stay as interesting for that long.
No, but apparently the reason why the lobby is bugged is somehow Nick and Jax have brought lobby. Nick's ghosting, but if I've read this correctly, he can go through drivers, but the drivers can't go through him. So he could literally just go through everybody from the start.
Looks like he's doing no contact in other words.
Yeah, in other words, but if someone hits him, he's going to get hit. He just can't hit them. Oh, because Nick's left. We're now going into the race. Right. What's happening
then? Anyways, as you were saying though, Jared, Toxic Tomato, he's currently at a 3 DNF streak, so far from the ideal start for him.
I think it's going to be his fourth today.
Not a lot of people have finished all of the races.
No.
You have Lickle Blocks, he's finished every race, gotten points in 2. Then you have Benza, he's finished all 3, but taking points in 1. Sane has finished all 3, gotten points in 1. Murata has finished all 3, taking points in 2. Then AT have finished all, but obviously he's not going to be starting today, taking points in 2. Then you have Marlon, Ferenc and Balakongen, who's all finished all 3 races and taking points in all of them. Well, except for Marlon, he did not take points at USA.
Well, that light sequence.
1 DNF.
That's true. Well, the light sequence then is about to go. Nick will rejoin, and the lights are out then. As we get all the telemetry up as quick as possible. But it looks like Shane and Lewis haven't had the best starts on these cold tyres. It's still a thing. Cody's need a fix. As a lot of people going 3 wide into 1. Marlon in the second, Frent in the lead. Shane trying to get in the mix as well as he's fighting Marlon side by side in the 1. Everyone going very deep as a Ferrari round in the background.
That is Jabraka.
Jabraka then isn't having the pleasant day.
Ooh.
You see both Haas drivers picking up the pace. 12th and 11th is Shane and Marlon doing a bit of wiggling on the straight. Alex Murad and Verlocken getting very close personal. Lewis though drops to 6th, and I believe he was 3rd in quali as Benza drops even further down the grid. Davey having a good race start, but Benza into 10th right now.
Davey taking a bit of an alternate route in the section there.
Is that the new track layout for maybe next year? But yeah, the Aston though, he's on a flyer right now. There's yellows, and that's Nick out.
More alternate routes.
Nick is out then. And that is a VSC. That is interesting.
Well, you know, I'm gonna have a look at the position changes then, because if I remember correctly, yeah, Davey started almost last. He's moved up 9 positions, taking full advantage of those medium tires at the start there. Jabraka down 10 positions, the biggest loser at the moment.
Fair enough then. But some interesting information. The reason why Nick DNF'd, he was in TV cam. It wasn't in his camera saying he couldn't change the camera what he wanted it to, and he was in TV cam, so yeah, that's why he crashed out then, it looks like.
Gonna lie though, Jared, very interesting to see Ferenc and Shane's deciding to start on the mediums.
Yeah, hard to mediums the best strat to be honest, unless there's rain near the end of this race that we don't know about, but if that is the case, would we go hards?
They have both managed to pass Marlon, so they've gotten that job done, but being on the mediums right now, they kind of need to make sure that they'll be able to pull away as it's green again.
Back to green flag racing then, so...
Ooh. Nickel Block's almost caught out Davey there.
Oh, France then gets a good start as his yellows in the background. That's Med TC making a mistake, but look, Lewis making a move on Alex, already into 1 as we can see overtakes in the background as well. And there you go, Lewis into 5th position. Cameron moves back to 15th. He's gone board with Hirsch then, currently in 12th. You can see just ahead of him, the Ferrari and Lickle going away. Oh, Lickle don't give the Ferrari any room on the exit. And the McLaren get a shocking view. Comes on the outside. We are 3 wide, it looks like. And the Ferrari then backs out very smart there. And the McLaren has just showed them both up. Shoving Lickle there off a bit, I think. 50-50 on that. But, well, Hershey's just showed them both up. Benzo and Lickle there moves to 10th. Good overtake. And that's racing on their end. But right now, though, top 4, Sandra, slightly pulling away from Lewis.
They are indeed, and the 2 medium runners really putting on the pressure right now, as they've managed to, well actually now Shane's been dropped by Ferenc as well, and I don't think neither Shane or Marlon will have DRS now. They will not, so, well Marlon, no actually, that's well going. It's confusing with him switching cars every time. But now Ferenc, then he gotta try to just keep this pace going. He's gotta try to stretch it out, because these hard runners will have the upper hand.
Oh, Ben's is round. Ben's then just spun it on his own there, and that's going to be a kick in the teeth. As right now though, I'm going back on board with Verlocken, keeping up with his teammate. Well, teammate for this race, he's still a reserve, obviously.
Teammate of the day.
Yeah, he's still a reserve. And I'm going to say, as a reserve, he's done quite well, I think, to be honest. Second in championship, I think
well,
deserves...
he's second in a championship, Jared.
Second in championship, I think he deserves a full race seat. I take Edwards' seat away from him, I think. I think that needs to happen, make him back to reserve for the house. Might be able to do something then, but... well, look at that, in 11th right now, trying to keep up with the McLaren, but the McLaren looks like he's quicker right now. And Davey, Sondra, obviously isn't a train, but he's, well, that's definitely exceeding track limit, but he's struggling, it looks like, with pace right now, because Hershey on the hards looks a lot quicker than him in the final sector, and he's going to make an overtake.
I can see that. And oh, and you can see Davy's light is flashing already as well. Davy's he's actually on 0% DRS. And look at this Hershey, he's gonna try to make the switch back. Now getting the run. Oh, then is that the second penalty for Davy?
I think it might be actually. Yeah, it is. So he's already got a second, and it's only the 5th lap. Oh, round the outside, Davy didn't see him.
He's not giving this up. He's still trying to retain this position. Now it's starting to look difficult, and he had to concede it before the S section.
Yeah, well, Davy has to watch out in his mirrors now. Look, had a good start, but maybe the reason why he had a good start, he's just used all his energies. Cameron picks up his first 3-second penalty of the day. Edward, though, trying his best to make the overtake on Davy as easy as possible. Makes me on the inside, and he's through. Good overtake there, but is it too early for him? Will Davy come back with 11% ERS? Or has Edward got enough ERS battery to save him?
Barely managing to stick in that DRS of Ferenc.
Yeah, it just looks like Davy has a shocking last corner, and it's obviously he's flashing with his ERS as he's defending again from Zane in the background, which ain't really the smartest strategy. I'd have stayed in the toe of Edward to defend, but each to his own. No switch of route at the moment. Zane catches up a little bit more. Oh, he's off again. That's definitely a warning.
Lewis looking like he's going to have a very boring race. Already almost 2 seconds behind the front 4, and also 1.5 seconds ahead of 6th. So
yeah, he's
keeps going like that. It's just going to be time trial for him today.
Definitely, but look at the train right now. This fight for 11th seat.
Looking very slidey in the S section.
Who's looking very slidey in the S section?
Alex Morard.
In 6th. He's only done 5 laps and odds, but Zane making a move. Oh, look at this. This is very aggressive defending from the Aston. That could have been an in tears. Didn't want what's happened to him when Lickle made the overtake, but they've got to watch out of the overtake because the Ferrari, or even the Haas in the background, can make a very cheeky overtake. It was a very late defensive move. Oh, and Zane is round. And that's not how you want. And look at MedTC making a very optimistic dive on Cameron. Cameron keeps the car placed very well. As the Ferrari of Jabraka still got 80% ERS. As Yellow's in sector 3, that's Burrell going slowly. Made a mistake there with the final corner. Not to worry. Still a chance of a safety car. Oh, Jabraka tries it. Oh, Cameron almost goes for the move and all. Got to be careful in this turn 1, 2 and 3 going side by side. It can really end in tears. But always give it a day though today. He's going to probably do a bit more practice on his wheel, and hopefully he can do well on it as Cameron drops to 14th by MedTC. Oh, Davey tries to switch back, can't make it work. Cameron going around the outside of the Alpha Tauri, trying to make it work side by side. Is he going to keep it though? They're still going side by side. Do not go side by side in the S section, and no, he backs off in the end. So MedTC then moves to 13th. Has there been any more action up the front, Ball? Or is
it is very quiet at the front. Shane is getting a little bit closer to Ferenc, but Ferenc has also been trying to save a little more ERS the last few laps now, so Shane isn't going for any moves, and he's pretty much empty of ERS as well, so it's not really necessary for him to do any moves at the moment. And
Davy's getting passed again by MedTC.
And Marlon, he's pushing. He's trying not to lose too much time to these two medium runners, and well, Volkogen is he's just trying to stick with him. So not a lot happening there.
So Hershey and Jax have just switched. We are missing that, but we're on board with Cameron right now, trying to make a move. Oh, aggressive! Oh, there's a crash! They've had an altercation. That was an aggressive defensive move from the Aston, completely in the wrong there. Cameron was on the inside, found the gap, and he just turned across him. And Cameron Yeah, Cameron is just... Yeah, Cameron's not happy at all, and I don't blame him. I think that's going to be another retirement for today. Right now, though, back up front, Jax, Hershey, Edward, the other Haas, scrapping away for 8th. What's going on?
Oh, and that's Dave in the S section.
I don't know what's happening between them two. I hope there's no...
Well, they weren't close to each other at that when Davey spun or whatever happened.
Cameron went on his inside before 4 and he just cut across him.
No, this was after, man.
Oh, right, I was thinking about that. But the Williams up, Jackson Hershey, side by side into 1. What about turn 2? Still side by side, keeping it clean. Good overtake. That's how you make an overtake work. But,
But here comes Hershey back though. However, Jackson.
Oh,
and look at Lickle blocks out of the blue around the outside of Jax and into 8 for the Haas driver. As we can see, Jax trying to come back at him in this double right-hander here.
That was a brilliant overtake.
Gets that position, takes advantage of these two drivers going slowly through turn 1, 2, and 3. Gets the run on them both and takes that position around the outside. Some proper experience on the show there, Jared.
Right, definitely. Edward is got a lot of experience being in PSGL. He was, I believe, at one point in PSGL F1, if I'm correct.
He's the PSGL F1 race winner, Jared.
Oh, even better then. So he has got the experience for the guys at the top, so he's showing it. But will he be able to defend against Jax? Jax got 7/10 gap, but he's got plenty of ERS and he's getting DRS compared to Edward, who's only getting ERS. Down at the straight then. We do have a fight for the lead. We are going to keep an eye on that.
It's not really a fight at the moment, man.
They're doing a Matthew and Curtis just staying behind one another.
At the moment, Shane is just trying his best to stick with Ferenc as close as he can. It looks like he's pretty much empty of ERS at all times. So
fair enough then. But right now, though, a couple. Somebody said the Aston Martin driver should be banned. I believe it was Fusion who said that in the chat. So it's interesting. But right now, if Edward's not careful, Sondre, Jabraka and MedTC are slightly catching up with the group. Yeah, they are. They are slightly actually catching up with Zengas at 3 seconds. So 14th, 15th, 16th, all getting penalties at the moment. As well, lap number 11. Edward, though, just looks a lot more confident in the final sector compared to everybody else. And Jax could be under pressure by the McLaren if he's not careful. And the action up front still saying the same. You're right about Lewis being on his own. In 5th, 3.3 and 3 second gap behind.
It's being a very boring race for him at the moment.
I think pit stops will be around about lap 15. As I would know, but for F13 it was raining and I think I DNF'd before the pit window. Tragic memories that. But Jax right now though, keeping up with Edward. Edward's not being able to pull away as much as he probably wanted to. But there is a couple of fights ahead as well, but they're just not close enough to make overtakes.
Well, they're not close enough, and it also looks like in those two, well, I wouldn't call it trains, but in 1st and 2nd and then 3rd and 4th, it just looks like the two quicker drivers in both of those two groups are the driver in the lead. So Ferenc and Marlon, they just it's really them two pulling the two others along with them in these two groups.
Yeah, that is true, and it's also going to be, I think when the pit stops happen, who picked the best strategy, what time to start on. Obviously the mediums are going to be good at the start, but usually hard medium is the way to go. Snipes then passes Murad for 6th position. And not a bad overtake, but will Murad come back? Actually, I don't know. Both of them are on 0 ERS. Cameron gets another penalty. added to his time. And Edward is now feeling the pressure from 11th now. Jabraka's getting in the mix. We're all going to have to keep an eye on that fight, as it's really heating up now. Jax, Hershey, and there's a Aston going slow. That's Davey again in the S section, out of the X section exit, entering sector 3. And he's pulling out of the way for the guys ahead. And there's another incident as well, just in sector 2. It's Benza going slowly. But right now, though, keep an eye on this fight for P8. So I've got to feel sorry for Cameron. He was doing quite well, and then it's gone to a very boring race in the end.
Oh, Shane might be trying to go for the overtaker. He sits behind.
We'll keep an eye on it. As again spins it in the... Sorry, Aston spins it again in the final corner.
Down towards turn 4. I don't think Shane will be close enough here.
Okay, how is he just... I'm not even going to answer that. Let's back to the action. Break again.
Little blocks though, still managing to keep Jax and the others on a long enough distance to not get past.
He's doing a very good job there, not really burning his battery that much. He is using a little bit, obviously, to defend a tiny bit, but still got the pace, it looks like, in the second sector. David's on super softs. Softs. Why is he gone on softs? They're not... no.
Well, his race is over, so... He's lapped, he's...
crashed twice in the pit lane.
Probably not going to be able to unlap himself, or... Yeah.
Hang on a minute. I've got to look at that. That is a safety car being called. Has he binned it in the wall? Well, I don't know. I don't even know if he's front on cold tyres or what, but...
Well, this is a lifesaver for Shane and Ferenz. Or, to be fair, they've both been quick, so maybe they would have made this strategy work anyway. However, lap 14 right now, perfect for them to go over to the hards and go to the end. Marlon and Volakongen.
Nah, they're not making it to the end of mediums. It'll be a push, and...
What choice do they have, though?
They don't. They're going to have to go mediums, but I might be wrong, because we, as I said, in F13 didn't test the dries in the end to see how long the mediums hards go, because it was wet. But, I don't know. I just don't think the mediums can make... As I've said, I've been wrong before, so... I think you should probably be actually at this track taking a set of tyres quite long when I thought you weren't going to take them long, so...
Well, let's see that. Ferenz and Shane both into the pit. Marlon and Volaking also both going into the pit, so... all these guys seem to be thinking that there is no other option than to pit. Let's see then, Volakongen obviously double stacking. Will this lose him any positions? Comes out of his box there. It looks like he should still be keeping that P4.
Yeah, he's definitely, because the next guy who would be challenging him would be Edward, but apparently
somebody who's lost out in the pit though, Lewis. Down into 7th after that.
Yeah, but Jabraka may lose a couple of positions here. No, he only loses one.
Right, Jabraka loses out to Lickle.
Thought it would be a couple there because Jax was
so
quite
Lickle
close.
pitted on the lap when the safety guard got called, but Jabraka didn't.
Yeah, I think when the safety guard got called, they were like just at that time where they could instantly pit. If that makes sense.
Jabraka was behind Lickle. If Lickle pitted, he would have had the chance as well.
Actually, why didn't he pit then? Well, actually, in a way, Jabraka's actually gained a couple of positions as well, though. He's got ahead of Jackson Hershey.
Yeah, you are right, actually.
That's why I thought he was going to get jumped by them coming out the pit lane, but, well... Oh,
Well,
Cameron gets another penalty.
Jax and Hershey might have been held a little during their pit stop in that case. I don't know.
Well, Cameron's been saved though, we can say that. Cameron's definitely been saved. He's going to be still a bit ticked off from what the Aston did, but he's going to be happy that he can come back into the race and possibly score some good points.
Bracca has a 5-second though.
Yeah, he sped in the pits.
Oh, sped in the pits.
Yeah, that's why I went when he pit, because that instantly popped up.
And he's going to go right back in to serve it as well then.
What tyres is he going on? No, he hasn't gone softs.
Well, he's going to have to, and he's going to have to pit again under the safety car.
Well, it depends. If Cameron kites the safety car quite quickly, he's not going to have the choice to pit again, because the safety car will go in the pits, so...
If that is the case, then Jabracka is
kind of screwed right now.
On a second safety car.
Yeah.
Unless he slows down himself to not catch the safety car, but...
well, that's frowned upon.
If he does that, I don't know if he gets away with that then.
No, he won't. I believe in F10 somebody did that and they got punished. So
in other words,
as I say, it's frowned upon. Yeah, it's frowned upon. You gotta make your choice.
Oh, he is trying to do that, unless he has a delta. That is.
There's no delta. The leaders with the safety car.
Well, you say that, but we've seen delta under safety cars when they shouldn't be there before, Jared. So. I don't know.
Well, if there was a delta for him, there would have been a delta for Cameron, and Cameron's caught.
That's a good point.
That's what I'm thinking. There's no delta.
So
and he is.
In other words, this is Jabracka then speeding up right at the end there.
It's going to come in. It's going to be a late call, but... Oh, it's not coming in. Alright then, so that's cheeky. Very cheeky from Jabracka. Is
cheeky and not that I'm a steward,
oh,
but
Cameron's happy in the end. He's pitting.
It's probably going on to hards then.
Yeah, as the mediums for the Ferrari crew. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know though. I don't think what Jabracka's done. I don't think that should be allowed to do. To be honest, it's very tactical, you can say, to get rid of that 5-second, but it's not exactly fair.
Well, that as well. It's they know the rules. They're not allowed. As I said, it's frowned upon. They know the rules. It's been said in the rules before. But it depends if he gets reported. So, but the other safety car will be in this lap. It's definitely coming in this lap now. So, Brents, then we're going to look at: have the guys on hards made the right call?
I feel like Ferenc and Shane is sitting in a good position right now, and Marlon and Volokong as well. I mean, they're. I think their positions aren't as bad as the rest of the medium runners as well, as they have that one hard runner in between them and the rest. So, but
oh, definitely. As well,
I can't say I'm confident those mediums will definitely make it to the end at least.
Oh my God, Marlon almost ran into the back of Shane.
Ferenc backing them down.
Well, he has gone.
And there
he
goes out of the final corner, and he gets a good run on Shane.
But what about Locken though?
Volokong, you know, had an amazing start, it looked like, but doesn't look like he's planning on doing much with it.
Murad though is making a move on the inside already. On the Alpine, and he dives it into one. got to defend now. Oh, but maybe that defence wasn't wanting it. 3 seconds, the Alpine hards are just cold, and Lewis gets an easy overtake then. Moves into 6th position. Snipes then on the threat now by Edward, or Lickle in the background. But Lickle's going to have to buy his time and be patient to make his overtake.
Lewis now got to try to stick with these people ahead of him.
Lickle went for a very optimistic move there. I don't know if they were on my end on the camera. It didn't look like there was space. He just sends it and almost spins the car around. Now, it could be totally different from his view, but on that angle I got, it was a bit very optimistic. But as you were saying about Lewis, though, Sandra, before I cut you off.
Well, after going from a very boring race, now to prevent that from happening again, he just needs to make sure to stick with these guys in front of him. And to be fair, he also either needs to pass Morad or hope that Morad manages to stick with these people. But Marlon now, though, very close on the back end of Shane. Doesn't look like he's planning on going for the move into turn 1. Or actually, late dive with the more... Oh, and a bit of a touch, and... I think Marlon might have gone a bit deep there. However, now though, down towards turn 4 on the outside of Shane, using the medium's grip to brake later.
Oh, wow.
And look at this, Vola coming now, also looking for the opportunity on Shane on the inside on this double right-hander. Now going in towards the S section, Shane has less grip when going on power. He's trying to stick it in there though. And look at these two going side by side through the whole S section at this point, and Shane managing to stay ahead. However, not sure. Oh, and that he was very cheeky there. Look
at Lewis and Morado everywhere, side by side behind these guys, and Lewis gets through.
Indeed. However, though, Shane, I'm not sure if it was a good call by Shane to fight that position so much. He's lost Marlon and Ferenc now, and I don't think he's going to be able to catch them two up again. At the same time, he also has Vola coming right on his rear, and you can see Shane's light is flashing. He's out of ERS pretty much then, and he's going to have a hell of a defensive job to do now.
Definitely is. Oh, I'll tell you who's not having a good day right now. It's Snipes. He's just losing positions left, right and centre. Just like the setup of the car, he's just not comfortable with the hard tyres. He just loses 2 positions there on the straight, trying to fight back. But he can't make it work. The AlphaTauri's got the legs on him, and, well, he gets sent off wide there. And the Ferrari's now looking hungry as well. That's another position loss. So he's dropped 12, lost 3 positions in a couple of corners.
Marlon, though, still not on the back of Ferenc. Ferenc keeping a very solid pace at the start of this stint right now.
Yeah, it was 1.6 last lap. It might have been held up by Shane. But even still, Ferenc's got the pace right now.
Somebody, I think we'll see making an overtake now is Volakongen. DRS should be applied now, and look at this, Volakongen using some ERS as well, right on the back of Shane, already on his side, and goes right past. Now look at Curtis as well, as he is also attacking Shane. He's going to go to the outside. Shane is going to try to brake late, but he just can't on those hard tires, and he moves down into 5th place now.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy that he's dropping position, but he's not helping himself. He's burning all of that energy. He's on 0% again. And oh my god, even Alex has just almost rear-ended him. But I will have to add though, the mediums. You know, you and me don't thinking they're going to the end. If they don't go to the end, they're going to have to pit again. So maybe that's what Shane's thinking right now.
Well, I wouldn't say I think. I'm just not sure if they can go to the end, but I wouldn't really look away from them going to the end either. And at this point, looking at how much Snipes has lost, looking at how much Shane is struggling to battle these medium runners, and also at this point almost losing these medium runners ahead of him as well.
Oh, that's Cameron.
Oh,
There's Cameron. He's off.
oh, okay.
Did he cut the corner?
Shane is completely out of his DRS.
But
He's
France,
barely
he's in
within
second.
DRS range as well. As Ferenc has been passed by Marlon.
Yeah, I caught that. Marlon made a cheeky take on the inside. France didn't really fight it, so I think they're just hoping for them those tyres not to make it on the mediums for the guys on hard tyres. But it's a shame that Cameron keeps the streak going in DNFs. It's not been a good day for him. He's been a bit unlucky again. Hopefully, for the next round he can do a bit better. But right now though, the Mercs currently on the charge. Gap to French blocking though, 2.4 seconds. So you have to pick up the pace to try and catch up with that. There's one board of Jacks though. Oh, scratch that. We're on board with Med TC. He definitely wasn't on medium TC then. Spinning in the S section. Drops all the way back to 14th.
Shane, another lap where he's struggling now, just outside of the DRS range, and this could be an opportunity for Alex as Shane is... Oh, has he managed to get that DRS after all? Let's see, he has managed to, just about. But how long can he keep this going though, just staying inside of that DRS?
Yeah, but he's not helping himself. He just keeps burning that energy down the straight. You've got DRS. I won't really burn it to be honest, because you still
saying
get
that,
good
but look
speed.
at Lewis as well, also struggling with DRS.
Yeah. Lachlan's a bit better than him managing his ERS usage, and he's trying to actually catch up ahead. Med TC gets a penalty though. But the guys behind have got at least over 20% on the energy. So they're saving areas where Shane isn't. But Shane's still doing a good job. He's doing a miles better job than his teammate Snipes, who's in 12th on the hard tyres.
Yeah, Shane pretty much doesn't have any options here, Jed. He have to burn it everywhere to try and just barely get that DRS every lap, but I think this might be the lap where he's not going to be able to make it though. 1.2 going through this section, he's going to have a hell of a last corner to get that DRS, and he won't get it. He's going to be under attack now, and let's see then Alex, 5/10 behind. He's now using some of that ERS, he's opening the DRS, he's burning, and he's going to blitz down the inside on Shane.
Yep, Shane loses another
Alex goes very deep though. And Shane might actually look at getting an opportunity to get the back past him.
He don't have DRS, so it isn't really going to help him,
Doesn't have
unfortunately.
the ERS to get back past him.
Oh, Snipes though. Possibly looking for an overtake on Zane. No, stays behind at the moment, but it looked like he was
Now, Ferenc has lost Marlon as well, and now he's falling back into the clutches of Volakongen. It could be the second week in a row we see a Merc 1-2, Jared.
Could be, and well, obviously Marlon led the first 1-2, could lead it a second 1-2 again, so maybe the Mercedes were just sandbagging the first two rounds and showing us their actual true pace at the moment, which is good to see other contenders. But right now though, Volokan in third, doing a good job. Just
Lewis Curtis as well, also struggling a bit now. He's lost DRS on this lap. So he's not going to get any help from that to stay with Volokongen now.
Yeah, a lot of people are using their batteries now just to keep in that range. And Shane's doing a better job this time though, staying with Alex.
He is indeed.
So lock on though is in DRS range of Francis Snipes picks up a pen. There's one lap, 25 out of 36.
And Marlon, he's just cruising along. He has over 70% DRS. He's certainly the quickest man on track right now, and I'm not gonna lie, Jared, unless the tires fails him, I think it's only Marlon that can prevent himself from winning right now.
Oh, definitely. Right now, France The hards are just not working for him. He tried the gamble, maybe the safety car did cost him in the end, but we don't know. As we said, the mediums probably may make it, they might not make it. But Vlokken is in attack.
Well, I don't think we'll see an
Oh,
attack on
yellows.
this straight, or
And
this lap
that's
at least.
Snipes with no front wing.
Snipes, yeah.
Maybe not this straight, but if he gets a good entry into one, maybe in the second straight, because Vlokken's not using any energy.
I think it's more likely to see it on the next lap, unless he did gain a lot through those corners.
Nah, he's not close enough.
But he's not going to use any. He's going to try to just sit behind for a little. He does have a gap of 2 seconds back to lose at this point, so he does have time to wait to make that move at the moment.
Yeah, he's just saving his energy. You might as well just see a team, well, temporary teammate doing it up ahead in the lead. He says he's on 70%. I've got the pace over the Red Bull right now. I can just chill out.
And now Lewis has also broken DRS with Alex.
Yeah, Alex is in a bit of trouble right now. He's got a Shane, the Haas of Lickle, and Hershey in the McLaren. Starting to reel them in. But we're locking though on board right now with gap 2.2 from France and the leader. But we're going to be 3 seconds, that's lap.
And France not with a bad exit there, but Volkogen this time he's burning some ERS. He's going to try to go for it now. Look at this, he's gaining with his DRS open, fakes the dummy, goes to the inside and gets past into turn one. Make sure he doesn't go deep as well. Gets a good run through here. And now he's just gonna try to stretch it a little to Ferenc and hopefully be able to lose Ferenc.
Yeah, well, right now he's doing an amazing job. You know, especially catching up with Shane as well in the championship. Vlokken in second again. Vlokken's just been on form with strategy calls, and with these 4 rounds going, Vlokken's doing a very good job being consistent. But more than that, gap's 2.1, it's 2 seconds now.
Look at this, Ferenc is struggling to stick with Volkogen in this S section.
Oh, he's also out of battery as well, so it's even if he did, he's just going to lose time even on the straights.
Oh, he might actually not be able to keep...
Oh,
and Ferenc with a mistake, and that's definitely going to cost him. He's definitely lost the DRS now.
Lewis is going to be...
What about Shane, though?
Vlokken, new fastest lap, 179, so he's currently the quickest man on track, but he said Marlon's got plenty of energy.
I think we'll see a fastest lap attempt coming from Marlon at some point. He's sitting there with the battery to burn, so
look at the fastest laps right now, and 18.3 is currently Marlon's time. But the tyre's now 13 lap old on the mediums, as Jax and Benza switching positions now in the background, and Jabraka's also getting in the mix. And Jax then drops to 11th, so both Ferraris 9th and 10th. The teammates now going to squabble for positions for 9th. And the answer is yes, they are. They're actually on a cheeky little attack. But they hold their positions as for now. But the fight for 5th, Sandra, is heating up a little bit, all the way from 5th to 8th.
It is indeed. Alex is sitting very exposed here now. Does not have any ERS to play with. He has 3 cars right on his tail, ready to pounce. However, Shane and Lickle, unless they feel like they're a lot quicker than Alex, they might just sit in behind there, because obviously Alex is sitting there with the penalty, and these two they could just sit behind and try to make minimum mistakes, and they'll still get that position from Alex.
Definitely, and 1 lap 29. Not that long left of the race, so it's going to be interesting if the tyres last, but I'll tell you it's definitely going to be interesting for is Lickle and Hershey. Will their tyres be the first one to pop? They're on 15 laps on their mediums. It'll be very interesting how their race goes. on the tyre wear. The tyres visually don't look too bad. But Shane, though, still doing a good job, holding 6th place. Probably not where he wants to be, obviously. He was fighting for 2nd at one point. But he's still going to score points.
It's a bit like I said earlier. I think he lost out a bit too much on when he fought Volokong, and he lost the DRS train in front, and then he's just gradually fell back a little. And I think maybe if he just let Volokong go when Volokong was gonna get past, maybe he could have stuck in that train for longer.
Yeah, definitely. But while we're on about that, Jabraka spun it in the S section. He's got no front wing. He's going to have to pit. Now, I'm not saying that's tyres. I think he just spun it on his own. But if that is due to tyres, then we could probably see some more spinning or a couple more mistakes from the medium runners. Right now, they're one body.
You say that, but at this point, I don't think it is. Though look at Marlon and Volokong. They're still pulling time on Ferenc, who's on those hard tyres. So.
Cameron's now left the session.
With just 6 laps to go, I think these mediums should make it at this point.
Oh, Snipes has got a 5-second speed. I'm guessing he's retiring. Yep, that's him had enough. His race basically was over anyway. But Jabraka's gone soft then, so he's going to go try for fastest lap, which is currently.
Oh no!
Oh yes!
Lewis RC has gone around in the S section and has dropped to 9th place, and struggling with the tires, probably broken front wing as well.
His wing might have got a tiny bit of damage. Benz has also binned it as well, Sondre. He was also on mediums. Now that's 3 cars. Lewis is in.
Could be the tires.
Maybe, and yep, Shane's now moved to 4th. Hershey's moved to 6th. So Edward's tyres are going to be starting to give up because the train's split a little bit. And yet Lewis called it a day as well. He's DNF'd. So he did obviously have nothing really to fight for, but he could have had somebody ahead of him spinning and then crashing out.
That's a shame for Lewis there. Been sitting pretty in around that 5th place area for pretty much the whole race until now, and you know, it could be the medium tires just going off a lot, or
I think they are.
Or we could just see Volokong and Marlon also backing off a little, trying to
keep the tires in,
preserve the tires a little, because we can see Ferenc catching now.
Well, yeah, now Shane's past Alex, and he's pulled a bit of a gap now, 6/10. Still in DRS range, obviously, but he pulled a bit of a gap there, and we did see a couple of mistakes on board with Alex. And earlier on, we saw Hershey and Lickle quite close to these 2 ahead of them. And there's a bit of a gap formed there as well, so maybe the mediums aren't working as we thought. As Ferenc, 1.3 from Volokong, 1.2 now.
Yeah, but you gotta remember though, even when he catches, he also gonna have to get past, and Ferenc is not looking good on ERS. In the meantime, Volokong, he's looking like he's trying to save some of that ERS for an eventual battle.
Yeah, which is very smart for him as Ben's left. So only 11 drivers remain in the session then. Fastest lap is a 179 still. Jabraka hasn't beat that yet, but he's coming to the line now. And nope, he doesn't beat it. So whatever lap he set wasn't either was invalidated by corner cutting or something, but locking up under a bit of pressure. Gap 1.2.
Yeah, Ferenc is getting a bit closer again. These, well, to be fair, these hards should be better right now. The shouldn't be any doubt about that. However, though, it's not a lot of laps left, and Ferenc does not have a lot of ERS to battle with, so I think he's gonna have to catch Volokong within this lap or the next one to be able to get that position and not get passed back.
Oh, Jabraka's also now DNF'd. That is a safety car. That is a genuine safety car. So, wow, okay. Well, not 33. There's no point pitting because the safety car's literally going to come in this lap anyway. Why? There was no need for a safety car to be called if it's lap 33. It's going to give us a last action fight with no DRS. But, well. Oh, and the reason why Lewis Curtis retired Sunday was he had rear wing red damage. So, that's why he retired. So I'm
That's
guessing,
gotta be fun to drive with.
He said he couldn't drive, but isn't that his normal thing to do? He can't drive anywhere. But, well, it's a shame though for Lewis. Followed again.
Let's see, Marlon, he stays out, I assume. Yeah. And same with Volakongen.
Shane doesn't. Shane's in.
Oh, that's interesting. That's...
Softs are going to work, but
is that
silly.
going to pay off though? Lickle as well, but they're going to lose positions. Or no, maybe not. Jax also goes in. Same with Zane. And Med TC, so this could...
Well, we are going to see some action.
Could work out for these soft runners, actually.
Yeah, there's not that many laps left. Obviously, still be no DRS.
Or they do have...
It's going to be just straight on
Shane
speed.
was 4th.
Yeah, he was 4th, dropped to 6th now.
Yeah, so he has to. He only has to pass 2 drivers to actually be back in his position.
The medium's blistering.
This tire advantage, this could be very spicy at the end here.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you, it's not going to be spicy for is Murad and Hershey. I've just looked at their tyres, and yeah, they are definitely blistering. So. Are they going to be able to stay 4th and 5th? It's going to be very interesting. He's in this lap, so Shane's still going to catch up.
Shane's going to catch up, yeah. Lickle, he's going to be able to catch up. Jax, he's going to have to speed up a little, I think.
If I was Marlon, I'll just bolt it now, but safe car's being really slow. It's going to be interesting then. I'm going to go on board with Shane.
Yeah, Lickle has just about caught up.
Oh my god, the Mercedes have just crashed into each other. And Shane has already made a move, already in a 5th. And Edward is getting into the mix as well. Box is in the McLaren. And Volokin isn't happy. And he's making a move into the lead with front wing damage. And he's through. Oh, and there's contact again. Merck's having... Oh my god, look at Ferenc on the outside here, Sondre. He's come out of nowhere. And what a move in the second. But look at the Alpine of Shane. Shane's on a cracking job. Oh, big impact in behind. What happened then? Did you catch that?
I did catch that. And Ferenc moved a little over, it looked like. And took himself and Volakongen out pretty much.
Well, right now, Shane is going to take the lead of this race. Round the outside into the S section. What a move from Shane.
Oh, but look at this guy with the experience, though. Lickle blocks. He's looking at his first podium of the season right now, right on the back of Marlon.
Well, it could even be a win if he can get it put together.
It could be, but oh, and look at this. Lickle down the inside in this tight section. Marlon, though, doesn't give in.
Oh, he's got a penalty.
And that's unlucky. However, he will at least keep this P3 with everybody behind him having penalties as well, except for Ferenc.
Saying set the new fastest lap of 17.4. Maybe he wasn't expecting that. Right now, though, Edward, as you said, he's getting hungry for his first podium of the season, showing that Haas have got potential points. Just keep scoring. Now, I don't know if the penalty might get removed or anything like that. Have to be looked at. But Shane is, well, surprised us both. We didn't think it was a good call from the going softs.
Oh, Marlon going defensive into this double right-hander. And look
He's
at
off
this
the
though,
door.
Lickle on the inside here, he's not gonna give in, and look at that, he
Good
goes
move.
for it, takes P2 to move up into second. And looking at how much he wanted that position, I think he's gonna try to get a warning removed.
Yeah, I don't think it would. But right now, though, the man who surprised us all didn't look like he was going to take the victory at all. Was in 8th at one point. Shane then takes the victory in Mexico, with Edward then taking second. Obviously drops the third due to a penalty, but Marlon takes second. Edward then third. Hirsch moves to 4th. Ferenc 5th then. Alex 6th. Jax 7th. And Zane in 8th. And 9th was Med TC. But Zane, Sondre, got the fastest lap of the race, I believe. For getting that extra point.
I believe you're right there. As Lickle blocks gets driver of the day.
I can't disagree.
No, I mean he's got to be one of the drivers who's the most positions, and he's finishing on the podium at the same time. So,
well, Shane takes the victory yet again. I believe that's his 3rd win of the season. This guy cannot be stopped right now.
It is.
Marlon did take the win last weekend, but Shane back at the top step after his DNF last weekend. But he's happy with that and extends his championship points lead with Marlon in 2nd and Edward in 3rd then. So Haas has got some very strong points, even though one of them did DNF from today's race. What a race indeed we had today, Sondre. Very good race. And a surprising one as well.
A very surprising one in the end. Late call for a safety car, and really spicing it up there. Then Shane, I believe, was the first one out of the drivers to decide to pit to the soft tires. Obviously, that could have gone 2 ways, but seeing as everybody behind him also chose to go on the soft tires, it did pay off. Then he didn't get stuck with too much traffic, and he was able to move his car into 1st place.
Yeah, that is true then, as well, the time's already going down, so we can't go over the race results, but I've already seen the results from today's race with the top 3 of Shane, Marlon and Edward Orlicle. Have done a very good job for the top 3 and a very exciting race. But a couple of incidents definitely going to get looked at. Obviously, Davey and Cameron, and well, the one with Locken and Ferenc as well. Looks like a bit copycat of Davey and Cameron's one, from what I heard from Sondra's end.
Yeah, I think we can say with pretty certainty that there's going to be a few more incidents reported this week than last week, which I believe we had no, or maybe 1 reported or something. So
yeah, that was also actually, ironically, that was actually towards Locken and Ferenc again. This is the second time they've been involved in the incident, but last time it was the harsh 5-second Locken got, which got removed in the end from Ferenc illegally overtaking on the safety car. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with penalties for the next event, which I believe is Japan. Let's have a look on the calendar while I get it up. And yes, it is for the PSGL. It is Japan next, so a very exciting race weekend again then. But I have been your commentator, Ayal Nian, or as Jared Fosbury. Been joined in the booth by Mr. Sondre Sohaug. It's been an amazing race. But see us next week, same time as usual on a Monday. And, well, can't wait for the action and the racing kick off again. But see you guys then. Bye-bye.